Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so this has been debated all week amongst different people's streams, comment sections, and watching today's episode. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Natalia, um, saying that Sunny said this and Sunny said that and Sunny said that he was gonna go with me down to the place and start a new life and this, that, and the third, right? And everyone remembers the same conversation. The hell are you talking about? There's not one point in time that we saw on screen him saying any of this. Girl, you coming across as delusional and you looking crazy on screen. The thing is that Natalia is supposed to come across as this very sharp, savvy woman. A bigot, a couple other things I'm not going to sit there and say, but smart, right? So it made me sit there and think, well, either you put rocks and replace her head and just shove that in there because it's not making any sense, or somebody's lying. When she said, what are you talking about? You said you was going to come down there with me and this, that, and the third. He didn't deny it. There's a point where he sat there and said, I'm sorry if you got confused. Where's the confusion? Either you said it or you did. So it made me sit there and think, is she lying or are you lying? Or did you tell her something that was very similar to what she said, to what she was meant to say, but you're like, well, I didn't exactly say that. Because it's starting to make me sit there and think like, bro, are you gaslighting her? I find that very important because I want people to understand that this whole week, everybody, including me, has been sitting there clowning this chick. But watching this today, it's like, what's going on? Hell, I mean, she was jumping out of pocket to the point. She's like, What are you talking about? You said you was gonna go down there with me, and I thought we were gonna sit there and start a life together. Start a life together. What? Say, what the hell did you say to her? I mean, Sonny was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a good life. I'm gonna take care of you. Make sure that you're safe. I picked out the house and everything like that. And at this point, it's like she's sitting there saying that she wants more, right? And that's clearly on her. Honestly, tell you the truth, when you really sit there and think about it, Sunny is doing you ultimately a favor because your option is jail or death. Now, I know that Sunny, one of Sunny's rules was no women and children, but I mean, how many times did they retcon stuff? So either you're going to be 6 feet under, or you're going to be in jail for a crime. Let's be honest, you thoroughly deserve to be in jail for. Anyway, she makes some sort of comments like, "Oh, I hope that you and your family get exactly what you want," or whatever, something like that. And she goes with whatever that guy's name is back to the hotel. She's like, "Oh, well, give me an hour. I got to shower. I got to do this, that, and the third." She didn't do any of that. She decides to sit there, take some pills, have some drinks, take some more pills, some more drinks, text her son in a language that I don't understand, which is called gibberish, and we're sitting there just sending it to him. Now, while Lucas and Marco's on their date or whatever, there's a couple of texts that keep coming through. And long story short, Lucas is like, listen, I get it. She's drunk. That's her pattern. But at least she's reaching out to you. This is going to be the last time you're going to see her. I think it's a good idea if you see her. You talk to her. This chick is passed out. Now, I don't know if she's passed out or she's out. But Marco did sit there and say, hey, listen, I'm coming through. So, he's driving up there to see her. Good thing for Lucas, because he wasn't even that bothered. You got that going. You got this same as very similar as okay. It's pretty much okay. It's very similar as conversation with Porsha and Curtis. The difference is when Jordan came through, I was all like, "Yo, what is this chick doing? You just barged on in? I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, you still could not, but like, you just ran on in. Like, what's the matter with you? Why are you looking all shocked for it?" Portia set that up and tells Curtis that too. It's like, "Yep, I did it because she needs to be put on notice that I'm with you and she's not." And he gets to say, he's like, another lie. He's mad. And what Portia sits there and says is, are you mad about the lie? Are you mad that your ex-wife is upset seeing what you did with your current wife? And he doesn't answer that, right? And then it just goes back to the same conversation. The difference is, she's sitting there saying, listen, she has feelings for you. She wants to be with you. Rather you are seeing that, you're choosing not to see that, whatever the case is, she's a problem. I'm glad that Curtis said she's not the problem. We are the problem. Ultimately, it really goes nowhere. It's the same back and forth conversation where they both have really good points. Um, yeah, they generally have really good points. Portia's like, listen, I'm going to fight for our marriage. I personally don't know why, in a sense, because while I don't like the lies that Portia has told more than once, people are human. It doesn't make it right, and it's definitely going to take a while to sit there and get that trust back. But you hanging out with your ex-wife, that shit ain't helping, if we're going to be honest. Um, the seeing, the being all attitude and dickish, that shit ain't helping. You giving her the cold shoulder, you making her feel like shit, that ain't helping. You gotta actually work through that. I'm not there saying it's gonna be easy, but treating her like garbage is not helping. And the constant judging and being all high and mighty, and you know what I'm saying? Like that stuff isn't helping. So I don't know. It's I get his anger, and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't sit there and fault this man for being angry about lying because it's not just a lying. It's feeling hurt that you're not being trusted, and I get that. So yes, he does have a right to his feelings and being angry, but like, bro, for better or worse, you took vows. You need to sit there and honor them. While Jordan is pretty much telling Anna that I'm just gonna step back because she literally did sit there and say like, yeah, Portia set that up, but she's like, listen, I don't want to sit there and ruin his marriage, and I don't want to be that person. And she also sits there and says that, Portia is going to cause the end of her own marriage because that's what she does. Curtis is about the truth. Portia is about covering her ass. I don't understand how they worked out in the first place. But here we are. Now, Justine or Turner practically just call Anna a dirty cop, and that they're saying that you're either on a take or you're incompetent at your job. But either way, like, this is a problem. They go back and forth into Jordan comes in and Hannah pretty much tells her to kick rocks. The what is it? The christening that happens. Y'all can just watch that. I wasn't really too interested in it. There's a point where Sasha sits there and thanks Jason for pretty much putting up with her being a pain in the ass. So that's awesome, I guess. Yes, that's great. You were entirely an annoying ass woman from that whole jump, but hey, that thank you makes me feel a lot better. Whew, better than me. Um, Mac was there. I don't exactly remember what he said, but he was there. Um, Christina was there, but she had to wind up leaving because the manager, I guess, called out. And while she was driving down there, some men apparently got into her place, started pouring gasoline all over the floor, and then eventually, when she got there, they just, threw like, I guess, what do they call it, a mocktail or something like that, firebomb, something like that, and they just threw it in there. I'm like, girl, stop staring at the fire. Either get a fire extinguisher or get the hell out of there. I don't think, well, it'd be kind of odd if they just kind of destroyed the set already. I mean, I guess they do got the dirty, what do you call it, the brown dog or whatever. Oh, and then there's a scene with Brooke and Chase. Brooklyn. See? That's what happens when you watch me in soap operas. There's a scene with Brooklyn and Chase. And Brooklyn being like, hey, listen, I need to know what's going on. When I start talking about Natalia, you kind of just shut down the conversation. And Chase is pretty much just like, listen, I told you there's certain aspects of my job that I'm not going to be able to sit there and talk about. You're just going to have to understand that and just respect it. And eventually she does, like, kind of begrudgingly drop it, but, like, she does sit there and want to call you. Now, during that whole christening or whatever, after it was over, Chase wanted to call Turner and telling her that he saw Natalia there, got into something with Sunny, and then left. Then Turner goes back to Anna and says, "You want to sit there and build trust? Put out a ABP or whatever on Natalia." So they're saying that she's going to sit there and run. We're going to lose our chance of busting Sunny. I don't know if they're gonna have to do that because she may want to bang all day. Crazy. Now I feel like that's pretty much about it for the most part. Like I said, there was a whole christening thing that wound up happening, but it was pretty much just kind of just what it was. Um, yeah. Anyway, if I missed anything besides the christening stuff, let me know in the comment section below. I don't know. I'm not sitting there saying that he said those things to Natalia as far as, yeah, we're gonna sit there and go, we're gonna start, and, I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna visit you and stuff like that. But he didn't deny that she said that stuff. Because here's the thing: if somebody told, if somebody sat there and said, "Yo, Albert, you said you was gonna sit there and go with me to the store. You said you was gonna do this. You said you was gonna do that." The first thing I would have been like, "No, I didn't. What the hell are you talking about?" I would have denied that shit right then and there. I would be like, "No, that's not what I said. Where is this stuff coming from?" All he said was, "You're confused. I'm sorry for the confusion." What confusion? And that's the thing. It's not like she didn't just get that out of nowhere. Okay, there's certain conversations where I can see things being confusing. Oh, I'm gonna try to come down there and see you and stuff like that, as opposed to using it to say, "Well, you say you was gonna come down." I said I was gonna try. No, you say you was gonna come down there. I said I was gonna try to come down there and see you. As opposed to using it to saying you were gonna go down there with. I mean, think about it. I don't. It's Here's the thing. The first time that she said she was going um, to the airport, and she said, "Wait, where's Sunny? Isn't Sunny coming down there with me?" It's like, no. She would have knew that she was going down there to wherever that place was by herself, and she wouldn't even been asking Sunny. But she wouldn't even been sitting there saying, like, "What are you talking about? Sunny's coming down there with me. I thought he was coming down there with me." She would have had the idea if Sunny never actually said that. So, again, the whole week while I'm sitting there like, Sunny never said that. Sunny never said that on camera. We never saw Sunny say that. Unfortunately, it does not mean that he didn't say that. And that's the problem. I mean, ultimately, listen, you got Sunny, you got information on the mobster, right? Like ultimately, what it comes down to is, girl, rather he said that or he didn't sit there and say that. Let's just sit there and say he said that. It doesn't matter. You have to leave town because he's not going to jail, and he'll sit there and put you 6 feet under before that happens. Or you're going to sit there and go to jail for a very very long time, like you deserve. So ultimately, you need Sonny's help. Sit there and start this new life, and live a very comfortable life. What about this? What about friends? What about girl? You need to sit there and get settled first. You knew this. This is the consequences. Nobody told you to sit there and get in the car being drunk either. So there's that. So it's not like I feel bad for her, but like I'm just sitting there trying to look at it like this doesn't add up. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'm actually gonna do a live stream tonight. It's already like 7:15, and like it's been a long day, and yeah, I don't know. But I'll sit there and post them on my community tab either way to let y'all know if I'm actually gonna do it or not. Most likely, I definitely try to do it tomorrow, um, and I'll let y'all know what time, and we'll go from there. But this might be a rest night. But, anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Also, for members, there's a new video that I put out.